Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. First, I'd like to thank one of my viewers by the name of David for sharing this story with me. I actually saw it earlier today, and I definitely intended on speaking on this because wake-up call. Now, for those of you who are in the walk or in the way, please understand that you are already in the walk or in the way, so some of the things that I speak about or some of the content that I cover may not apply to you per se. We still have to reach those who are still asleep or in the dark. This case, in this particular case, we're talking about a woman by the name of Lizzo or Lizzo. I don't know how her name is being pronounced, but apparently she went to a public venue. And she has this thing where she likes to express her confidence in herself. She's a, what do you want to call them? She's a big girl. And she comes to this public venue, is a Lakers game, and she has on an outfit that is very, very revealing. It's almost, well, the front part is covered, but the back part, it's kind of thonged up, if you know what I mean, where those two big giant chunks are just out there. And she's dancing around. She's very comfortable doing this. And a lot of people are just getting a chuckle out of it. And she herself is just having fun with it. But if you see what she's doing, she's literally mooning everyone, because it's not covered up. It's just some strings and straps going up through there, if you know what I mean. And I wanted to speak on this for a moment because she's getting a lot of support from so-called black women. Okay? We have to understand that there is a standard to live by, whether we like it or not. Just because society says something is okay doesn't mean that it is. Now, she is getting backlash from a large segment of our population as well, but the part that bothers me are those who are supporting her and cheering this on. She is literally just throwing everything around in front of the camera, and people think that this is okay. She's getting, I'm looking at this right here, there's an older white guy, of course, he's right there next to her clapping, you know, so some people are cheering this on. And this is not the type of thing we should cheer on. This should be frowned upon. There is a standard to live by. And, you know, the scripture talks about how people are going to start to call good evil and evil good in the last days. And we are witnessing that right now. It's right in our faces. And those of us who know better, we've got to continue to cry aloud and spare not and lift up our voices like a trumpet in Zion, and show our people their transgressions. This is not becoming of a woman of the Most High Yah, of a daughter of Zion, a daughter of Zion, or any woman, period. But when you see a daughter of Zion walking around like this, and she's calling it confidence, and she's calling it her freedom as a female, and our young girls are looking at this and they are going from bad to worse. They look at this stuff and if their parents aren't there to coach them and they just see this blindly, they will think it's okay. This type of behavior, this, like the scripture calls it, the daughters of Zion walk about with their necks stretched, clanking of the heels. And that's what I see happening with this particular woman, Lizzo or Lizzo, however her name is pronounced. But we've got to lift up a standard. We've got to say, no, this is not we are supposed to be. And of course, you're going to have many screaming and hollering to the top of their lungs, saying that, woman, you're wrong. It's none of your business. Well, what she does is none of my business, but I can definitely speak on what she does if it's going to affect the next generation. That's where my biggest concern is, those who will hear. Okay, if you don't want to hear it, so be it. Tune out. But those who will hear, I will definitely give my 2 cents on what is going on here and why our generations are going from bad to worst. From bad to worse. We see young girls twerking on camera, dropping that thing or whatever they call it. I don't know a lot of this lingo, family, so bear with me for a minute. But when you see 2 or 3 year old girls, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 years old, and they are doing all of these things that their mothers and their fathers and aunts and uncles are coaching them to do, that is not a good thing for us. These young women, they will grow up with low self-esteem, thinking that they have to use or flaunt their bodies in order to get someone. But they need to grow up thinking and knowing and understanding that they don't have to do all of that. They don't have to stoop to a low level in order to be liked and loved. But if they put their faith and trust in the Most High Yah, that He has a reward for them on the other side. Because usually when we allow our young daughters to grow up in a certain way, they usually fall into the traps and snares of this world, and all types of alternative lifestyles appeal to them because they're not being trained up in the way that they should go. And when I sit here and I say these things, family, know for a certainty, I don't think that I'm perfect. I don't think that I'm the authority on how black women are supposed to be, but I do know this for a fact, that the harvest is plenteous and the laborers are few. And I'm just one of those who is going forth into the harvest, and I'm trying to help our young women to understand that there is a way that we are mandated to be. Okay, that there is a way that we should seek after, and not the ways of this world, not those things that continue to make us sink lower and lower into the muck and the mire of this world. We've got to do better. Okay, we've got to stop making excuses for mediocrity, for dysfunction. That's all we see in the black community, is making of excuses and acceptance of wickedness. It is what it is, whether we like it or not. I don't care if she is a celebrity. I don't care what she is. They are not the standard on which we should live either. And so it is our jobs and our duties as parents to make sure that we are steering our daughters in the right direction. And with that, I will say shalom. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.